question for you as a former diplomat. The question is, what do you see as the most effective diplomatic and legal avenues available to challenge and hold accountable countries that continue to provide military support to Israel despite ongoing violations of international law?
I think activists need within their own country to look at the legal regime within their own country and take action against their own governments. I think that's extremely important. And you'll find, for example, the United States government is not allowed by law to supply arms to countries which commit human rights abuses, but has continued to do so. And I don't think there's much chance of stopping it in the States, but in many European countries, there may be possibilities for legal action which can be effective. So certainly activist groups and campaigning groups need to look at the legal avenues. In terms of diplomatic pressure, I think what we have to move towards is that there are mechanisms by which the General Assembly can suspend Israel from membership of the United Nations. And I think that's something which we now need to be quite seriously working on. I don't think it will happen at this General Assembly, but this General Assembly will certainly provide the forum on which serious lobbying for that to happen needs to be done. But that requires the countries of the global south to get very serious about it. And I'd like to take on what Professor Haim was saying earlier, that the attitude of Arab states has been extremely disappointing throughout this genocide. We know that many of these Arab states are client states of the United States, in which sometimes the regimes are dependent on American and even Israeli security services for protection against their own populations and to keep their own populations in place. And that partly explains it. But it's also to do with deliberate Western exploitation and enhancement and amplification of sectarian divide. And, when you see countries which were trying to help the Palestinians, when you see Iran and the Houthis and others attacking Israel with missiles, and then you see Arab states actually shooting down the missiles on the Israelis' behalf, then something has gone very, very wrong in the Middle East. And I think we have to be very honest and upfront about this. I don't think we have to be scared to discuss it. We have to say, this is truly appalling. But the use of Sunni Shia sectarianism to drive support for Israel in the Arab states, in effect, military support even, and security service support, is a real problem that has to be tackled. And unless we look at some of these fundamental questions, we're never going to solve this problem.